All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of Off the Wall. It's your boy Dazzle167 bringing it to you back again, and I'm here with the very talented Keekeexbabyy. What's up, dude? How you doing?
Hi, what's up? Hi, everyone.
so,
I'm so
uh,
nervous.
there's nothing to be nervous about. We literally played Overwatch together this week. There's nothing to be nervous
Yeah,
about.
I
We
was
are.
gonna run down on your friend, man. He's throwing our game. Like, stick to your. Wait, can I curse on here? I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
you
want to.
you can, you can.
Yeah.
It's
All
fine.
right, stick to your motherfucking Sigma. I know you watch this, so you better watch and listen, all right? Because I'm not playing with you. All right, cool. I just had to get that out. Because
Yeah.
he's like, I'm a Sigma main. And then he didn't play Sigma like literally at all, except for once. And I was like, hello, play Sigma or Ryan.
So
Ryan is fine.
yeah. He's odd because like when I met Flavors, he was Diamond, and then we got him to Masters, and he played. I
Mm-hmm.
told him at the time because he kind of popped off on Ryan. I told him don't play anything but Ryan, and then that's
Mm-hmm.
what he did. He played nothing but Ryan, and we got to Masters, and then after that he was like. Let's play. He did his own thing and started playing Sigma and all this other stuff. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just it's sort of unfortunate too because we had a lot of those sessions where like it wasn't just that, it was a lot of other things, the
Yeah,
DPS,
yeah.
the other healers, like it's always something with Overwatch.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Basically.
Overwatch is just its own entity.
Right,
Yeah.
it's a special circumstance to be able to like gain SR. It's very difficult, but let's go to the beginning because I want to talk to you about like the origin story of some of your gaming history. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. I know you started you have a fighting game background and stuff like that, but let's go way back to when you started playing video games. What were some of the first earliest memories of video games, and what led you to what you play now?
Well, actually, I play a lot of things, just so you guys know. I play literally any and everything that you can think of under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
My first game, I can't remember if it was this Mickey Mouse game or if it was like a Mario or Sonic game. It was like really old. I was actually gaming. I've had every gaming system as a kid and like growing up. Obviously not like whenever we wanted it, but like over time, like we would
Right.
get like a new system because my family is not rich. My mom was a single parent. My parents are separated, but I had them both in my life, so it's like different homes anyway. So we had every gaming system. I had a Atari. Yeah, there was just like literally everything. I played like everything,
Wow, since
and
the Atari, huh?
yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay. Okay. That's
yeah,
that's old school. I didn't have an Atari.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I
Uh,
guess I don't
yeah.
know. The Atari technically was the first one of the probably the very first system. I can't really remember, but we had like the oldest Nintendo and the oldest Sega. We had literally everything. We still have the older systems in our house too, like packed up.
Right.
So
What was some of your like from those early memories? There's got to be a game that you remember grinding night and day. Whether it's an RPG or whatever the case may be. Like
wait, like
what
as a little
Yeah,
kid
yeah,
or
like early
wow.
on when you started being like, because when I started playing, there was a lot of games, and I tried out a lot of games, but there was always like that one game where you were like, this game's amazing, and you started it from beginning to finish, and you grinded it. What was that game for you? What was the first really like true experience for you?
Hmm, that's a good question. Let me see. Hold on, I gotta. Okay. Huh. I don't know. My memory is like really poor when it comes to my childhood, but I want to say like I can't remember the name of this Mickey Mouse game, but it was like one of the like first Mickey Mouse co-op games that they had. And it was like with Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, and like they had like brooms and they had like wizard hats and they were like magic or whatever. I can't remember for the life of me the name of it,
Do
but it
you
was
remember the
really
system?
really.
Do you remember like if it was early on?
I can't remember if it was Sega or Nintendo. I could probably
Okay.
Google it. Let me see. Let me see.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I remember I remember those types of games always being for like well, usually I guess usually they were for like Nintendo, cuz I know Sega had their own thing, like as far as like they had their own properties, so it might have been for Nintendo, but I mean I don't know. You probably.
Okay, it was for Sega
Oh,
Genesis.
was it?
Okay,
Oh, okay.
Sega Genesis, yeah, Sega Genesis. I'm gonna take a guess and say that it probably was this World of Illusions game, but I don't really remember if that's it or not.
Okay.
Because it has to be like multiplayer, so it was probably one of the World of Illusion part of that series or something. But yeah, me and my older brother would play it together like all the time, and then like other than that, like Mario and Sonic with my mom and my brother and my siblings and stuff like that. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
So then when did you started getting a little more serious about gaming? Because obviously in your childhood, I mean, I guess this generation's a little different now because, this generation takes gaming a little more serious because gaming has become an industry, like a serious industry now. But back then for you, when did you start taking video games a little more serious in the sense that like where it's like, okay, well maybe I'm gonna start streaming and maybe I'm gonna start doing this, like what game got you introduced to doing that and taking everything seriously?
Hmm. I think there's two, technically. But the very first one probably was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I used to like play
Okay.
that in like a competitive sense. I used to play like with members from like Optic and FaZe and like do a lot of like scrimmages and stuff like that. But like I never like Nightbot said something random. Sorry. But yeah, so
Yeah. Nightbot's
there was
random.
like there was like that stuff. And then like probably after that, I would probably say, like after Call like Modern Warfare 2 died off, um kind of Soul Calibur 4. Like that was I don't want to say like my first competitive fighting game because I played all the fighting games. Like I played Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and like all those other ones like from when they first came out. Well,
Hmm.
obviously some of them are probably older than me, but what I'm saying is I played them from like the first games
Right.
that they've had. So I don't know. I guess you can like tie it into like fighting games and call it like Modern Warfare 2, really. And
Right.
then from
So
there,
so a lot
just
of like first person shooters and some fighting games and stuff like that.
yeah. I
Um
mean, there was adventure games, obviously, but and like story games, but like you can't really compete in that stuff. So yeah.
Right. So let's talk about your streaming. I want to talk a little bit about you starting off your stream. Like for me, I think it's something that's a little daunting. Like even when I started my stream, there was always something um very difficult about it. Like it looked like very, it looked hard to do on the outside, and then it became like the type of thing that once you did it, there was a lot of trial and error for you. What was those early days starting to stream, and how did you progress? What made you feel like you started progressing like throughout the stream? What made it better for you?
To be honest, when I first started streaming, like my channel always had views, like not obviously like a lot. But okay, let me go back to 2014 when the Evil or wait, was it 2014? It was when the first Evil Within came out. That's like the first time that I ever like streamed on Twitch. But I was like really close with somebody that was like a streamer and they were like pushing for partner, and that was back then, like, yeah, 2014. Okay, that was like back then, when it was harder to get partnered on Twitch, or even there. I don't even think back then affiliates were a thing.
Okay.
And so he was a speedrunner for Resident Evil, like the original Resident Evil, and like
Mm.
Resident Evil games. So yeah, we were really close. And he actually inspired me to stream. His Twitch name is UFC No Return, I think. Hold on, let me double check. But yeah, um, let me just make sure. I don't know if he like changed his name. Okay, yeah, UFC No Return. Yeah, and like he was so big. Also, he did UFC and like other things. And like we before this though, I like decided to stream my first stream. Oh man, I accidentally put a stream. So hold on. My first stream, I decided to do the Evil Within, and like I didn't know how Twitch worked back then. I just was playing, and I had like 20 people watching me play it, and like I didn't have a camera at that time. Like, I'm just there playing the game, going through the story. And like I probably should have kept up with it because like my channel would have like it was already booming when I did that, and then like I just didn't. But yeah, so like also with my friend UFC No Return, we did like kind of like a co-stream where we were playing that one game, what's it called again, Dying Light, and we like did like a co-op of the story together, and it was like really funny. I kind of wish I had that footage, to be honest.
So let me ask you this, because I think this is a tough when I first started streaming, like the advice I was always given was always like,
Mhm.
stick to one game, because if you stick to one game, like people will watch you. But it feels like you did the
Yeah,
complete opposite. You were
I don't
like
follow that at all.
right. So that was the advice given to me.
Yeah.
But then I watch people like you, and you have like a real variety of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
One day I see you playing Tekken, the other day I see you playing Luigi, and the other day I see you playing Resident Evil, and like there's so many different games across different consoles and everything too. So
Right.
what for you, you mentioned how, hey, well, maybe if I would have stayed in that one game when I first started, maybe I would have kept going, and it would have been a little bit bigger. So do you think that earlier on that was a hindrance to you? Because now you do get a lot of views. So is it still, do you think it's still like a hindrance, or do you think
Um,
it's still what it is?
well, I think the problem when I first started out in 2014 is I was just doing it. Like, I mean, I'm still doing it for fun now, but I wasn't like pushing for anything. Like, I didn't care. I actually was going off to college, so like I wasn't really like frequent with my streams. Like, it was just every now and then I'm like, oh, I should just pop this on and play this, or And so it was just more so like just kind of like a quick hobby. It wasn't like, this is a job, I'm gonna go and do this. But then in 2017 I sprained my ankle, and like my life was like literally falling apart. Like I had to take medical leave from school. Then my school like promised me that I wouldn't have debt, and then they like hit me with big debt that I'm still trying to figure out so I can go back to school and finish my degree and get my bachelor's
Right.
in biochem biophysics. So it's just like a lot. And at that time I was dating somebody, and like we broke up. It was just like really, it was a really 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 sad time. Or 2018, sorry, I can't remember if it was 17 or 18 when I came back. But I don't know, I was just like really depressed, and I was just like in a really really dark place, and I was just like, you know what, I should just stream. I don't know why that came to my mind, but so yeah, I came back, and I just did the thing that I do now, where I just play whatever I want whenever I want. Like, one day when I first started, I think I played Fortnite, Smite. Like, it was just, and that's just how my channel was. And like surprisingly, like my channel just grew. And like some people that I knew, like some streamers, like some people that I met through streamers, like I used to watch a streamer Mavattack when I was in college. I still watch him. He's also like a friend of mine, and I support him still. But anyway, so me and like this other person watched a streamer called Mavattack, and he somehow like found my Twitch. Like I streamed, and then I was like, oh my, or no, I found his Twitch, or I found him streaming, and then like I was streaming, and like he encouraged me to stream. And his name is Prodigy the Prince, and like we were really close. And so he encouraged me to stream, and then I started streaming, and I was like nervous that I wouldn't get affiliated, but like I was pulling like 20 people a stream, or like 9 to 20 I should say. So I was fine. But yeah, so like I streamed, hi Alexis, and then I eventually got a schedule, and then it just kind of took off from there. So yeah, I don't know. What was the question again? I got lost. I'm
No,
sorry.
you answered it. You answered it. We were just talking about the early days and stuff like that. Like
But
we, yeah,
I will say, for some people, because I am like that rare group of like a rare little small group of people where I guess you being like variety, like it doesn't hinder your growth, I guess. Like some people can be like that, but not everyone. So you definitely should stick to like I don't know, like you gotta find your own niche. Like you can't
right.
let somebody else tell you, hey, you should do this to grow your channel, because what works for one person won't work for another person. And like you just find that through trial and error. So I don't know, I just
Right.
found that me not really sticking to like one game helps my channel, you know? Because it also, how I feel about it is it's like, I don't know, like my viewers and like my community, I feel like are like loyal to like supporting me. So like they want to just see me be happy and play whatever I want to play. And like, yeah, I get the few that are like, you know, game based where they're just like, oh, you're not playing this game. Okay, I'm going to leave, which is fine. Like, you know, I don't want anybody to ever feel like they have to be in streams or like they're stuck there, you know? And it's like, yeah, you get some of those people that are just like, oh, I'm here to watch you play this one game. Oh, you're not playing that one game? Okay, I'm out. Like, that's fine. You really can't stress over that because you get to meet a lot of amazing other people within the community of the one game that you may switch to or the other game that you may switch to, which
Right.
I've met a lot of people like playing all the different games that I play. And it's really nice because I built some really tight and close relationships with a lot of people in my community. So if I had to do it again and if somebody told me to do it differently, I wouldn't.
And that's really it's really unique. It's a really unique position because you see people who, I'm a fan of DSP Stanky, who was a Lucio main for Overwatch and played Overwatch a lot, and then he got really tired of it, and he was like, I'm just gonna be a variety streamer, and then he
Right.
went to variety and lost a lot of viewership.
Mm-hmm.
But he was still happy. Like
Happier.
he
Yeah.
was a lot happier, and content with the viewership that he had. And on top of that, it was still like he lost considerable amount of viewership, but he also didn't start that way. He's so
Right.
so it makes sense that that happens. But I think you're unique in a lot of ways, in the sense that
Mm-hmm.
you don't play the same game. You are a variety streamer and you grow that way. And the
Mm-hmm.
other one is that, I think people's niche is often, I feel like people go in, they get described or put into a box a lot as a streamer. So
Right.
like people who, streamers who are like, oh, they're really good at this game and that's why people
Mm-hmm.
watch them, or they watch them because they're funny because they play this game, or they're this or
Right.
that. And I don't think you fit into any particular box. You're
No,
just kind
I
of like a
don't.
variety of different things, right? So
Yeah.
but as a streamer, what would you say is your self description of yourself? Like if you were to pitch your stream to somebody who may not know about streaming or video games and stuff like that, how would you describe your stream to other people who are like non viewing streamers?
Okay, before I start that, I just want to say, because you were talking about the Lucio main and how he
Right,
lost a
yeah.
lot of people, and anyway, I feel like also sticking to one game leads a streamer to be burnt out, and then they lose their like passion, their love for streaming, and that's why you see a lot of streamers take long breaks, or and it's really weird how some communities or like some people that watch a streamer, like they can't understand, like people get tired, like you get tired of playing, you yourself as a viewer would get tired of playing a certain game all the time.
Right.
And so I get that, and it's just like, the people that compete in Mortal Kombat or Tekken and stuff like that, like they need days to just detox and not play the fucking game. And some people, they find that out the hard way, like, getting so burnt out that they can't even like stand the game. And it's just like, because that's how I felt, because I had competed in E-League for Mortal Kombat. And like, don't get me wrong, Mortal Kombat 11, and I liked the game, but it was just like when I was playing it, like when I had to play it every day, it was really stressful for me. And I know, like for my community, they were probably tired of seeing it, and like, but they understood like I was preparing to like compete, and I was doing it because I was competing, you
Right.
know. And so, yeah, it's tiring, and sometimes it's good to just give yourself like a day to just like play like a variety thing. And I've seen a lot of like other streamers do that, where they give themselves like a day to just do a variety day or community day, like to do variety of different games, which is refreshing and good for you, because playing the same thing, some people can do it, but that's often why people don't create certain content like after a certain amount of time of constantly doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, like
Right,
so
right. And
yeah.
a lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of big streamers that happen to. I mean, I'm a big fan of you know, Tim the Tatman, and you know, he's I consider him a variety streamer, even though some people
Mm-hmm.
may not. But like, you know, he doesn't only play Fortnite. You know, he used to play Overwatch and CS:GO and Call of Duty, and he plays WoW. Like there's so many
Right.
different variety of games that he plays. That he has a wide spectrum of you know, of all these video games. So it's not just that, and even people, you know, who went, you know, the opposite of like people like DSP Stanky, where he, you know, he played Overwatch and then did variety and then lost viewership. The opposite is the
Mm-hmm.
same for other people like XQC, who is
Right.
you know, an Overwatch player, but then played, you know, you know, he got tired of it, and then started playing like Minecraft and got more viewership doing that than the, you
Yeah.
know, and I think it goes, you know, once people watch you and they are invested in your personality, and
Mm-hmm.
then it doesn't really matter what game you're
Matter what you
playing.
play. Right. Exactly.
Right, exactly. So I mean, I guess that's part of it, but going back to, because I think this is important, like for people
Mm-hmm.
for out there to like understand, because I think this is something that's really important for people like you who have been streaming for a while and kind of
Mm-hmm.
know you know, the ins and out of streaming. For you, what would you describe yourself as a streamer? Like, let's say you're pitching it to somebody, right? You're
Yeah.
pitching somebody who's not a streamer or doesn't know anything about streaming. How would you describe your stream to them?
Right. Um, so I would describe it as just being a big variety of games. Like I play literally any and everything that you can think of under the sun. And sometimes for streams you won't know what I'm playing and it'll be a pleasant surprise, you know? It's just like a little surprise every time you come. And it's kind of refreshing because then you don't get tired of the old like certain games. And actually people in my community that were like who just played like certain games, like I had somebody in my community that only played Apex, and then like when they saw me playing other games that they didn't even know that they were potentially interested in, they were like, oh my god, I'm gonna try out this game, and it turned
Mm,
out that they liked those games. So it's
right.
like it's not only like it's good for me, but it's also good for the viewers because then they like under like they get a whole vast of different games and then they realize, oh, I kind of like this game, I want to try it out. And some of them are free, so like, you know, you get to try it out for free.
Right.
um so yeah, and what else I would say about my channel is it's just full of positivity and love, but also like, you know, it's just a community and like a stream where you can be yourself as long as you're not being hateful or like trying not be harmful to others or nasty to others. You know, it's just one open-minded community that's just a whole bunch of people who may play different games coming together in a likely mindedness to be in complete harmony with one another. So
Right. So that, I mean, I think that's a great description. It's especially to like, you know, somebody who may not understand streaming it, because I think that's part of it for me. Like sometimes like I try to describe just streaming in general to people who don't really know about streaming, and it's kind of difficult. So I like hearing
right.
that different
Mm-hmm.
way of seeing that. So we spoke about like the early days of your streaming and stuff like that. I want to talk about like the sort of the middle of your streaming career.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you mentioned how you came back and you started streaming again, and you started getting more positive numbers. What was it about your stream that allowed your content to be viewed by a lot of people? Like, what brought your channel a lot of attention? Was there something that you felt that you did? Like, were you doing a lot to promote yourself, or you know, how, you know, because I think that's the big question a lot of streamers have for themselves. Like, how do I get out there more? You know, how do I
Right.
how do people come and see me? Like for you, what was it? Was it networking with other streamers? How did you get over that hump? You know, you mentioned you had like 9 to 20
Um,
viewers. How'd you get over that?
I kind of, I don't know, like, okay, when I first started, I was like growing. I just kind of like was growing on my own, but like I guess I was technically networking with other streamers, and then like eventually, like I got invited to like communities like the Cookout, which is a community for people of color content creators. to like, network and get to know each other. So like that there's a Discord. So like I like networked in there and got to know people from there, made friends. And then like BGG, which is Black Girl Gamers, which is another community, but that's just for like black or well people of color women, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so in other communities, and I just network sometimes. Even now, like I still network. I network on social medias. I network on my social medias. I network, and I pick random streams to like go into and talk to people to like for certain games that I like, so, like Mortal Kombat, Tekken, just like getting to know people. And so, yeah, sometimes, usually, like when you network with a person enough, they're like, okay, I'll check you out. And like, it doesn't always happen, but you're networking. So, maybe like on the side, you could be like, oh, hey, I stream too, maybe you can check out my streams. I don't really know. I don't really know like a proper, I'm still kind of new to networking. It just works out for me. But there was this one time where I networked with this big streamer, this big DVD streamer. Well, she's I don't know if she's big. I'll say she's big. But her name is Meows, and she plays Dead by Daylight. And like I used to go to her streams all the time, and like I was just like, oh my god, I stream too. I hope you can come by my stream. And then like one day she like hosted me with like a lot of people, and like she hosted me like a few times, and it was really nice because yeah, you just kind of network with streamers, and sometimes it works out. Now I won't say like do that to every streamer because
Right.
I don't know how that would
Yeah.
work out. But I was a part of her community for like months, before I even like fixed myself to like ask for like a host or anything like that, you
Gotcha.
know. So it's like genuinely get to know other streamers. Like don't just get to know somebody for a host or like to use them, like genuinely get to know like your fellow streamers. And like if especially if it's like somebody that you like, a game that you like and you actually enjoy that person, like don't force yourself to network with somebody that you don't like just because they have big numbers. Like that literally does not matter. Like network with somebody that you enjoy watching, that doesn't put you to sleep. Like don't force it,
Right.
just because you're like, oh, one day they might host me, oh my god, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely think that. I mean, I think you hit on something super important that I think a lot of streamers, especially people who are trying to make streaming their career, I think it's something that's very important, that it's that genuine part about it, right? It's that
Right.
you make genuine connections with people, and you don't really look at people's numbers or anything, and you just try to talk to them, and you share common interests and stuff like that, and just get to know them in a genuine way. And those people eventually will feel compelled to help you, in the sense that they're there for you. They they like your content and stuff like that.
Right.
So I think that's really important, especially for a lot of people who are streaming themselves and starting to
Mhm.
stream and stuff. So I think
I
that's
will
great.
also say, sorry, I don't mean to cut
No,
you
go
off.
ahead,
I
go
will
ahead.
also say another tip that I want to give anybody that's like, trying to still figure this shit out.
Hmm.
Don't join a Discord and then like only just post when you're going live, or like spam the going live channel in somebody's Discord. Like
Hmm.
not even like talking, like forgetting to like talk to the community or like even come to streams, because then you just look like an ass. First, you're making an ass out of yourself. You look like a leech, and it's like, okay, are you only here to like try and promote yourself? Like what, hello? Like there's people that you can build genuine bonds with. And
Right.
I recently had to like tell somebody, I was like, hey, I noticed that you're like posting a lot in the like self promo channel, which is fine. Like yes, it's, I want everybody in my community, like, not to, don't get me wrong, I want everybody in my community, to reach all the goals that they're trying to reach. But it's like, there is a community, there are people here, like, we are people, like,
Absolutely.
get to know everybody. And it's like, I usually take people's privileges away when I feel like they're abusing the channel, and I'll tell them, like, I'll personally message them. I never like call them out in a Discord, of course. I try
Sure.
to keep things professional and like, cool. And so like I'll be like, I talk to them, and then like certain things get better or doesn't get better. And it's just like, okay, that person just isn't meant to be in my community, So it's, or like, they have to earn their rights to be able to use that channel again. Oh, well.
Right. Um.
So,
So okay. So let's move to a different topic real quick. We'll come back to it
sure.
too, because I think it's all really interesting. I
Mhm.
find your channel, like, I've watched you a lot, and lurk and stuff like that, because I like just I like supporting other streamers, right? Just in general,
Mm-hmm.
like I like watching people and stuff like that. But like, and I think your channel is great. I want to ask you about, you know, because you're a variety streamer and there's so many up and coming games that are coming out. Are you looking forward to anything in particular? You know, we heard about a lot about
Hmm.
some games that are coming out and stuff like that. Do you have any particular interest right now in upcoming games or games that you haven't played yet that you are looking forward to playing?
Um, The Last of Us 2 is gonna be a really good one. Also the newest Guilty Gear. Ugh, love fighting games. So like another one added to the list is I'm never complaining about that. So that'd be
Right.
dope. And also I kind of wish that they would make like a Tekken 8. You know, I think Tekken 7 is they said that would be the last Tekken. I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know. Um, but my backlog is already like kind of big on me having to finish like story games.
All
So
right.
I'm trying not to have my eyes be too big on, you know, playing certain things because Luigi's Mansion, man, whew, I was about to crack. Like I was ready to crack like the second day of just playing it. I'm like, all right, I want to do variety, but like, you know, my community always teases me that I never finish a game which I finish games. We finished Tekken 7 on my channel. We finished hold on, I gotta think. Resident Evil 7, we finished Resident Evil 2, we finished
It's a
there's a
short
lot
list. It's a short list.
until dawn. No, it's actually a pretty long list. Why I have to think about it. No, like really. Oh my god, we finished so many games on the channel. Like my community, they literally act like I literally don't finish games when I do. It's just I do it in the time frame that I like. But I guess I should do it in a better time frame. You know, we did Dark Souls 3, we did Bayonetta 2. We did so many different games on the channel, and they just act like I don't finish games. Because one day of streaming the game for 6 or 7 or 8 whole hours, I can't get another day to just play a
Right.
variety of games.
Right.
Uh,
There's a good question in the chat about have you finished Spider-Man?
that's not a good question. He's a troll. Don't listen to him. No, we haven't finished Spider-Man yet. That's
Okay.
also in the backlog.
Do you find yourself do you find yourself sometimes thinking about a game is like, oh, this game looks really cool, I'm gonna start it, and then once you start it, you're like, you kind of just become like, oh, I don't know, this game isn't as good, and then you're like, maybe if I come back to it, I'll care to like it. Does that happen to you?
Yeah. I guess I've kind of felt that way about Borderlands 3. Like nothing wrong with Borderlands 3. I think that the gameplay, like the new stuff that they introduced to it was amazing, but the fucking story literally irks my soul that I cannot finish that game. Like I just have a vendetta against the story, like the storyline of the game.
Right.
Like it hurt me. They did Lilith dirty, and then all the other stuff. Like I had to spoil it for myself because I was like, after I seen that, I was like, yo, does she get? Whoa, what else happens? And then like I just knew that I was gonna be angry, and I was like, you know what, we're not playing this anymore. So we
Right.
haven't played it ever since like this second day of us playing it.
So speaking about things that irk you, I noticed that I haven't seen you stream Overwatch. Is there a reason for
we actually have stream Overwatch on my channel.
Okay, I haven't seen you stream it recently, is what I said. I guess what
I
I
will
meant.
tell you when the last Overwatch stream was. It's because I start my streams and just chatting, so you don't know.
Oh,
It was a
gotcha,
week ago
gotcha.
since we played Overwatch, by the way.
It was not. It was like a couple
It
of days
was
ago. It
no,
was
it
this
was
week. It was this week.
no, but on stream you're talking about, right? It was
Oh,
a week ago that I played
okay.
Overwatch on stream. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The only reason why I don't always play it is because I duo stack with my friend who's like a DPS main, and like that's how I climb.
That's
Like
really,
whenever I play.
honestly, that's really the best way to climb because, I'm a support player. So when I play, I need to play with a DPS players, to be able to climb because sometimes you can't really you can't really rely on the random DPS players. You know,
Right.
it just feels
Exactly.
like
Some of them are like good, and then some of them aren't. And then like there's so many Smurfs. Like my friend isn't technically a Smurf, but he doesn't like try hard. He like plays at the level that we're playing at, if that makes sense. Like he
right.
doesn't like unleash like his GM or top 500 shots. Like sometimes he'll do certain things, but it's like it's not just him carrying the game. Like because I can play off of like usually I play off the people that I'm playing with. So like if he's doing like his part, I can do my part, or like I can do extra, and like we kind of carry games together. Or like if he's like not playing like that hard, like I'll carry a game, like so like we bounce off each other. And so I also play support, so yeah, I totally get the whole struggle of being a support, but it's just so many Smurfs and like Diamond and
Yeah.
Masters and like the other team that it's like it's really rough to like climb and find a good team to climb with, because it's like some people, and then you have like the people who got boosted to where they are and they don't belong there. Like I have a friend that just like he's like, oh yeah, I'm boosting this account, I'm gonna put it in GM. And this person that they're boosting is like a fucking gold or like plat or like even sometimes like a bronze or like silver player, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, that you are like the problem of Overwatch, because sometimes I'll get in a fucking game and somebody's playing on a fucking role that they are placed at that role, but they play like they don't have any fucking game sense or a brain at all, and I'm like, stop, like why? And he's like, oh, I don't care, ha ha. Like I'm like, no, like what are you doing? Stop boosting this account. And I'm
Yeah.
just like triggered, because I'm like, watch, I get this fucking piece of shit on my fucking team because you're doing this. Like, please stop it. And I think it's so funny. And it's like, I don't know. Overwatch just like frustrates me a lot, to be honest. So,
You're
and it can
not
make me,
alone. You're not alone. I
it
mean,
can make me like
there's
really
always that.
toxic and like mean. So, like, when I do stream it on my channel, I just try to be like calm. But it's like, I don't know. I used to like stream it a lot on my channel, but that's like when I was like addicted to Overwatch, and like I'm kind of addicted now, but it's kind of like
It's hard
it's
because
balanced.
it's hard to be addicted to it, because when you get you like playing it, but then you play it and the games are
And
so
then it
rough.
reminds you, yeah, it just reminds you of why you should just quit Overwatch and never play.
Yeah, it's like the games are
Hi,
so
Stevie.
tough and it's so
Come here.
hard to climb that it becomes such a nuisance to play it. You're like, oh, the teams are so unreliable.
Yeah.
That's why, like, okay, so I've been told that,
Mhm.
when I play Overwatch, I either do really well or I do really stupid things.
Mhm.
There's no in between for me, right? And I think
Right.
that's what always keeps me leveled, is that sometimes I do great things and then I'll get SR, or sometimes I do stupid stuff and then just. So what do you think for you specifically in Overwatch? Do you think what do you excel at? What do you think you do really well?
Well, I can tell. I will say, like, whenever, like, I can tell when I'm playing bad, but like, I always know that I'm at least doing like the minimal of what I actually have to do, or like if I'm making a bad decision when I'm in a game. I guess it's like because sometimes I'll try to force Diva into like a comp where it's like, okay, this is not working. Okay, I need to
Mm-hmm.
stop being stubborn. Go Zarya, or like go somebody else that's gonna help us. And like I make those switches. I make the changes that I need to make.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I just try to like I try to make it all easier on everybody, because people just like they cry or whatnot. And like there was even like this one game where I wanted to play Diva, and like this person that was obviously smurfing, they didn't say anything on the mic, because I think I was in a party, I can't remember, but they were like shake their heads and like, or like no or yes for like approval of which tank I was, or like asked me to like go a certain tank, and I would just go that tank. And then like eventually, like if I felt like it wasn't working, I would just switch, which I did. Like one time I switched to Zarya because I felt like Zarya was going to be better for like one of the situations. But
Right.
I try to like sometimes I do push my diva into like a comp, because I'm like, well, this is like the hero that I really can actually carry games with. Like
Yeah.
if I get the proper healing, and if I get all the help and everything that I need. Hi, pretty kitty. Okay, my cat just came up, but then she quickly went away. She thinks I'm
um.
gonna pick her up and put her in the camera. That's why. But yeah, so
Oh, okay.
I don't know, man. I try not to be toxic, but sometimes I am because it's like sometimes when you're playing, you literally need to like I don't know. It's like some people just I know you. It's like not good to be good toxic or like call somebody out during a game because of no throw. But it's like sometimes it's like, bro, I don't know a nice way to just tell you, you fucking suck on this character and you need to just like switch. Obviously, I don't say it that way, but I'm like,
Right.
can you like switch? Like you're not doing anything. Like we need more damage or anything. Like that time we played and that Genji fucking bladed and got obliterated. I'm just like,
Well,
and I was like,
yeah,
yeah, you need to switch out for Genji. Genji's not working. And then like he did. But it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, I don't know.
But I
But
mean,
like,
that's okay. So I wrote a long post about how Genji's just terrible right now. I mean, it's Genji's just not a good character in general. I mean, I think people who have played Genji at the highest level of Overwatch cannot make Genji work, and I don't know how anybody in their right mind thinks Genji can work
I
right now.
think I think for certain people it can work because I do have a friend that is a top 500 Genji that I'm sure it can work. But I know he also like plays he like the problem with some people is that they learn to only like one trick with one hero, and then like when that hero isn't good anymore for like a meta, they don't know what to do. Like my friend who is a top 500 Genji, like he knows how to play the other DPS, and when
Mm-hmm.
Genji isn't working, he will switch. But some people can do what is needed. But I think some people are just so stubborn to realize, okay, your hero is not working. Like literally, do not switching is like killing the team and stopping us from being able to do anything. And I think it's just like a lot of people just not having the game sense or just being too prideful to switch. Because I know sometimes I'm like, I know I can make Diva work in this comp, but it's like you also have to worry about like think about your team because it's like you trying to force that character and like hero into a comp or like against a certain comp, and it's just like your team has to kind of carry the
Yeah.
the slack that you are causing them to carry because you're trying to force a certain hero into the comp. It's just like a problem. And so like when I see that, I'm just like, okay, I'll switch. Like if it's really like going really bad and like we really can't do anything and like me, god forbid, going Zarya is going to be the answer, then I do that. But I don't know, like for me, I know if I have like a decent healer that will keep me up while I'm doing like crazy stuff, we'll be all right. Kind of like numbs, like as
Numbs,
long
yeah.
yeah, like as long as he has like somebody that's reliably like keeping him up, then he's gonna be good. But it's just
Okay,
like one of
listen,
those.
Nums is crazy. First of all,
Yeah, I know.
Nums. I mean, oh, yeah, you were okay. So I had a stream highlights this week where I played with Nums, and we won the point, and he was like, "Yay, we won the point," and then fell off the map.
Oh yeah, I see
Like
that.
he just like I'm
And
gonna
then
leave.
everybody jumped off, and then everybody else
Everybody,
jumped off
yeah,
the map, and you were like,
exactly.
"Guys, you're throwing my
Right.
game."
So Nums
Yeah,
is just a special character.
yeah, I
You know,
know. He's great though.
but again, he's also one of those people who, he can be 4,400 one night, and then the next night he's 3,200. He's
That's
he's
terrifying how he just
yep.
I don't know, like once I'm
I don't know
like
how. I have
losing
no
too much
idea.
SR, I'm like, dude, I'm about to
Yeah.
lose my mind. But I know a lot of people like that too, where they'll be like super high and then they'll drop like super hard and you're just like, what, hello, what
Right.
happened? And they're
Why?
just like, oh, don't worry about it, I don't care about SR. And I'm like, how can you not? I don't know, I just don't understand people who don't care about SR because I literally freak out and like get super stressed out and depressed over my SR. Like literally when after I played with you guys, I was so sad. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I felt so useless. I was like, I am useless. I am trash. I am worthless.
Yeah.
I'm a failure. So yeah, I don't know. It just
Well,
always puts me in a bad mood.
but here's the thing too. Like I feel the same way because I have friends who are not just top 500, but sometimes I play with top 10 players, people who are like I have a friend, Dankist. He's number one in on PC and Xbox currently. Like he's an amazing
Right.
player, and sometimes I'll play with him. And like I'll get out of spawn. I'm like, yeah, let's get ready. He's like, don't worry, I killed everybody already. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll just keep healing you, I guess. Like he'll,
Yeah.
so like I feel the same way when I play with like top caliber players at the same, like where
I
they're
don't know.
just so
Like
good.
Shoot, hook me up with him. I'm about to be like, yo, let me get you a backpack. I just need a little bit of SR. I just need to get to masters. That's it. Just a little nibble. Because I'm already pretty much there. It's been a
I think
fight,
you know what
yeah.
I think we should do one day where it's a bunch of people who can six stack, because I think six stacking, especially in diamond, is the most reliable way to just
If the
gain
six stack is
SR.
good.
Yeah, of course, if the six stack is good, but
I mean, yeah,
obviously,
when we six stacked that day, it was really good. I mean, as long as
yeah.
I
Yeah,
can,
we were mostly masters and above playing in
yeah,
diamond. So I mean, yeah, it was gonna be like, but that's what I mean. We should do that one day. We should make it so that one day it's just us, like,
yeah.
you
I mean,
know.
I told you guys I wouldn't mind doing that again, but y'all always go and play without me because y'all got cooler off tank mains, and I'm just sitting here
Well,
like,
we'll do it one day. We'll do it.
oh,
We'll have to schedule it one day. That way we
no.
could be
Yeah,
like,
for
okay,
sure.
guys, let's get this and this, and we'll schedule it one day, because that
That's
way.
if I don't make it to masters on my own.
Oh snap! Yeah.
I mean,
uh,
I was there one day and I like threw my SR and I was just like, why did I do this? But I was having such a fun time. Like it's different if I like am having a good time and like I
right.
chose to throw my SR. But it's not the same if some fuckhead is just throwing the game like that. May was it
Yeah.
you? And yeah, and I'm just like, bitch, the fuck. Like I'm losing
Yeah.
my mind. It's just like, dude, come on. So
No,
I don't
yeah.
know, it's different when it's like, if I make the decision to throw my SR, not another shithead just being like, hey, I'm gonna be a shithead now and just ruin your game. Like, okay, thanks, I guess, it's different.
Absolutely.
So
Well, listen, we're gonna be starting wrapping up the show here. But
hmm
before we do,
we just talked about a
um,
lot of Overwatch. Oh god, wait, ask me actual things that you want to know about me, not Overwatch.
well,
Oh
okay,
gosh.
one of the things I thought that, like, when I first was introduced to your channel and stuff like that, when I heard that you
hmm
were being a console gaming streamer and stuff like that, I was like, wow, this is really interesting. This is a person that I like to watch, because I started watching and I was like, oh, this is really nice. And
hmm
there's a lot of people who got to be partnered, like streamers with Console Gaming League, who eventually just kind of like didn't keep going and just kind of stopped. But I feel like you've already been in it, and
Yes.
you're already like established yourself and have a community.
hmm
Where do you go from here? Because I know obviously there's the push to partner, right? That's always going to be
Oh
at the.
man. I mean, well, let me just say, I've had 400 subs and 150 plus average viewership, and
Mhm.
Twitch still didn't partner me. So I don't know what they want from me, man.
I don't know
Because
either.
I don't know. I just can't. I honestly just stopped stressing myself out about partner. If it happens, it'll happen. Like, of course, I would love to be partner, not for myself, like not for selfish reasons, but so I can have more opportunities for my community and like opportunities with companies, so I can do like certain giveaways to give back to my community. Like, really, it's all like the reasons why I want to be partnered is all for my community, really, and like just like a little smidge for myself, like just to feel validated and feel like, hey, I'm accomplishing something. But I noticed like that drive and like the desire to be partner was like, and like just everything was like tainting my view and tainting me, and just like because I wasn't getting it, it was just making me feel worse about myself and about my content. And even some days, like I still struggle with if my content is good enough, or like if I'm good enough, or entertaining. But it's just like I just know that when I first got into streaming, I didn't get on here to like be a big streamer and like, just I don't know, like it's cool and it's, whatever. Like my viewership went down after I like kind of was just like, guys, I'm still gonna be pushing for partner, but I'm not gonna be like stressing out about it. I think people got confused about the message because like I'm still kind of pushing, like, so it's like all the support is appreciated and needed, but it's like I just don't want to be tainted with, oh my god, my numbers, because you start to worry about the numbers so much, and then you're like looking at the
Right.
numbers and like you're stressing yourself out. Like sometimes I would stress myself out, and I would stress myself out whether or not I would stream, because like what if people don't show up? I mean, I still feel like that, but it's like when it was like different when I was like on that hyper push, because it was like, oh my god, I'm streaming like way off schedule, like what if people really don't show up? oh, I shouldn't stream because like I'm way off schedule. But now I just kind of, I kind of took back the fun in it, and remembered all the right reasons why I'm doing it. I started streaming, to inspire other people to, do the things that they really want to do and just be great in life. And just, I wanted to, make a difference with my gaming, whether it was making somebody smile or helping them out, like figure out a part in a game, or, something with my gameplay that like resonated with them, or like they figured out something by watching my streams. Like, some people figured out, oh, I actually like this game. I'm going to play this game. I'm going to get to know this game, while watching my streams. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to just keep doing it for like the pure reasons, and not because like, oh my God, I'm going to be partnered and like blah, blah, blah. Like, I was on the front page of Twitch in June, and then I was on the front page of Twitch again, like for another thing. And so it's just like, yeah, it's awesome, but it's like, Jesus, when you have all those people watching you, it's like, I can understand why some people in my community might have felt like, nervous to like come to streams or like talk in streams when things like when my viewership was like huge, or like, things got crazy. Like, I totally can get that. And it's just like, none of you guys are insignificant at all. Like, I love all of you guys. You guys are all important. If you guys are here and you're watching this, you guys are the best. You rule. Literally nothing in this world will ever, like, I will never give up what we have as a community and like act like I'm too good to like, too good for you guys. Because like, I am nothing without my community. I'm nothing without, the people who support me. Like, whether it's people who come to my streams all the time, or it's people that like, they like my social media posts, and like, they give me social media interactions. It's just like, I don't know, like with or without a check mark, I feel sometimes I feel invalidated without the check mark. But then like everything that I've done, like I'm a Discord partner without being partnered on Twitch. Like, I'm a Discord partner, and I was a Discord partner since January. So like, I accomplished that. So at least there's like little accomplishments that I'm doing. So
That, yeah, absolutely. I think that's really important. It's just to keep true to doing, what you want to do and how you want to do it, and just being genuine about it and not trying to chase like certain things. I do think that is like the best way to approach, that.
right.
What do you think the future holds for your stream? Do you plan on doing something different? You know, do you what are you looking forward to do a little bit there? Because I feel like sometimes as a streamer, you do some of the same. I mean, obviously you are a variety streamer, so you play you play everything. So there's no stagnation in what you play. But sometimes when you even just playing, just sometimes feels like stagnant. So do you plan on doing anything like for your channel or for your community that like, maybe do events or stuff like that? Like how do you plan to grow in the future for you?
Well, there are some changes that I made. Like with story games, I decided to at least, play them through before I do anything else. I can't say how long that'll last, but for now I'm trying to do that. Like, or like, start out with a story game, then maybe do a little bit of variety. I did that a little bit during Resident Evil.
Okay.
Because like I just needed a break from that game. That game made me anxious. But
Right.
but I really don't know. The sky is really the limit, yo. There's so many things that I want to do for my community, but certain things take time and money. So, I try to give back the little ways that I can. Like, for subs, I do like a game giveaway when I get free games, and I give it away to my community, because it's like some games I can't even play because it's for PC and I don't have a PC. I stream from my laptop, so it's like
You're
that's
right.
also
You mean like a
inspiring.
gaming PC that can handle
Yeah.
like the graphics and stuff. Yeah, gotcha.
So it's like, I try to give back in that way, like for the people that support me, because it's just like, I try to do every little thing. I don't have much, but I try to give a lot, if that makes sense.
That's awesome. And earlier in the show, you mentioned how you were one of those people that try to make genuine connections with streamers and trying to network and stuff with them. And
Right.
eventually,
I even make genuine connections with my community. Like if I haven't seen them, like how some people are like, oh, I haven't seen you in stream. Where have you been? Like I check on people like if I just haven't seen them around because like I'm genuinely worried. So I'm just like, oh hey, how are you?
Sure.
Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while, so I just want to make sure you're okay. Everything's okay with you. Or I just randomly like talk to my community. I talk. We have movie nights. We sit in the Discord and like talk to each other, voice chatting. I game with them offline. So it's like the connections are constantly being built. It's not just like, oh, it's like I feel like with certain streamers, and like that's why I kind of like I want to grow, but like at a certain amount, because like I don't want to have 1K viewers and like my chat's flying and like I can't talk to people in my community and stuff like that because it's just
Right.
like I don't want them to ever feel like they're just a number or like they're not important. And I feel like
Yeah.
even if I had 1K plus people, I would do my best, my damnedest to read the whole chat, and
Yeah.
just like talk to people. But like I feel like with certain people, with certain streamers, and I don't understand how people get connected to like certain streamers like Dr. Disrespect and stuff like that. Like I get like it's cool to watch them because they're like amazing at games, but it's like there's no personal connection or personal level that the streamer on because they're so big unless you were there from the day like before they like blew up.
Right. Where they're like, hey, I remember you. Like
Yeah. So it's just like I don't know. I don't ever want to be like that person where I'm just like like I don't know because I've never.
You don't want to get
like,
too big in the sense that you can't make genuine connections with the people in your chat.
And it's like I'm not like what you see on my stream is what you'll get in like person. So it's like I don't want to ever be like, okay, bye guys, and I turn off the camera and I'm like, oh, fucking community, like, like I don't know. I just feel like those big streamers are like, yeah, what the fuck ever, yo, after their fucking thing, which maybe they are genuine people, but it's hard to say because it's like you don't really have a genuine connection with them, and I just don't want it to ever feel like, oh, she's too cool for me, she's too big for me, like
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. Want to give a shout out real quick to Blackest Beast subbing for 7 months. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, and you were talking about like I mentioned, you were talking about genuine connections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how, when you were starting out and how you were getting big hosts and stuff like that. Do you feel that way sometimes when now that you're bigger, like, do you feel that way sometimes? Do you feel kind of like obligated to like give back to the community in that way, in like hosts and stuff like that? How do you go about that? Like, I feel like that's sort of a hard thing to do because you don't necessarily want to.
I wouldn't say obligated, by choice.
Right.
I decide to of course I want to host within my community. I want to support the people that support me, and I do my best to do that. So, I always do my best to like, if I can't host somebody, show up to their streams. Like Alexis Prime, that's somebody from my community that streams. And one day I was just relaxing and he was like, oh, I'm going live on Twitch. And I was like, I didn't even know that you stream. And I like showed up to his stream for like a little bit. I try to do like little things to make their days because it's like, they make my day on a daily, like just spending time with them. So, I try to do things, and I like to like surprise host like people in my community, but it's a thing that I don't want people to like really expect or feel like it's an obligation, because then it's like not fair to me, because it's like, I don't know. I just like, I was going back to what I was saying earlier. It's like when you join a community, you're not like joining, like you're not getting to know, like some people, yes, they get to know the streamers for hosts and stuff like that to use them, but it's like, it's different here. So it's just like, I don't want to be like, oh, let me host this person, and they like expect that host like all the time,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like there's no obligation and there's no expectation when it comes to that. Like it's just genuine support. Like, hey, I see you streaming, I want to surprise you with a big host. Or hey, I see you streaming, I want to surprise you by coming in. And like everybody gets so surprised when I come by their stream. They're like, oh my god, Kiki. I love how excited like everybody in my community gets, or like people that I know. They're like, oh my god, you're in my stream, like what the heck? And it's like so cute because it's just like, I'm just little me, but everybody I just appreciate everybody that like appreciates me, I guess, because it's just like,
but it is really cool because I think I didn't. Okay, so I've had small amount of successes during my time in streaming, and I've had the opportunity to have like a lot of people in my streams at one point, and then I've had, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I've had smaller streams and bigger streams, and I've gone up and down and stuff like that. But when I do get, you know, big streams, and I host people, and I do stuff for them, and I see the impact that it has on them, you know, it does feel really nice and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that coming back to me as well. Like, you know,
Right.
when I have low numbers, some people will come and raid me and support me and host me, and it's really cool to make those genuine connections like that. And I think that's the best part about it, is like,
Right. Exactly.
yeah. So I really enjoy that. Well, listen, I think that I think we touched on a lot of topics and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
I feel like we dove into a lot of stuff. And I think that it would only be special if we left a little bit so that you can come back another time and we could
Okay,
talk
but
more
before we
about it.
leave, let me show
Yes,
you the picture of
absolutely.
me as a baby. Would you like to see this?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Oh wow, there you go.
I just seen this like laying here.
I like the earrings. The earrings
Thank
and
you.
the hat are probably
They're
my
pretty.
favorite.
Yeah. That's
That's
baby
awesome.
me. But yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, we gotta calm
We
down. We can't
gotta
give
do
them
that.
all the good.
Right, right.
I did want to talk to you after stream though about something. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
totally
yeah,
off stream.
absolutely. Cool. Well, listen, thank you everybody for passing by. We're gonna go ahead and raid somebody from the community. We're actually gonna go raid a fellow console
CTL?
gamer, yeah,
Mhm.
console gaming league streamer. I believe his name is X Rook, and this is actually a perfect time to do it because he doesn't have that many viewers right now. So I think this is a
Awesome,
really
awesome.
good way to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and rate him. If you can say hi to
Also,
him,
I
stick around
weirdly
for
wasn't
that.
following, so let me follow.
Oh,
Sorry.
there you go. I know, and I know you popped in stream the other day too, because you were like popping in and you were saying hi and stuff like that. So it's funny.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. We're gonna go ahead and raid X Rook. He's playing the new Call of Duty, so he's also a variety streamer. Go check him out. If you like his content, give him a follow. Let him know that you came from Off the Wall, and we'll check you guys out later. For more updates on who's going to be on Off the Wall, twitter.com/dazzle167. And just, you know, if you as part of the community have something to say, let me know. And if it's something that seems interesting, and we'll have you on the show and talk about it. So let's do that. All right, guys. Till next time. See you all later. Peace.
Also follow Kiki.
Yes,
Bye.
follow Kiki. Do you have the twitch.tv, right? And it's
Yeah.
Keekeexbabyy with
Baby.
two Y's.
With 2 eyes.
Right. Got it.
4 E's. 2 K's.
Perfect. All right, guys. Till next time. See ya. Bye.